Alrighty. So, nobody knew this, but I totally shattered my tablet this week. Put it on top of a refrigerator, and I was bent down to go look at something the customer was telling me to look at. Opened the door, and it fell right on my face. So, what we're going to be doing today is replacing the screen on this thing. This will be an example of a wonderful new division we'll be taking on here in the future. New project. But there we go. That thing is totaled. Oh my god. Of course it still turns on and everything just fine, but it is just that glass on the front, it's toast. So, along with most of my repairs, my mobile device repairs and stuff like that, YouTube is a great place to start. But when you just got the part in your hand, really the new part that you'll be installing has the story for everything. If you look at the original part and just kind of place it in the same fashion, when you look at the other side, you can see where the ribbon cables are, and that's the area that you got to be careful with. So it looks like right here we're going to be watching out for that ribbon cable for the digitizer, the actual touch sensing part of it. And then here's another ribbon cable that folds around right here for the home button. Now inside this kit, it came with another Wi-Fi adapter, or it's a little Wi-Fi antenna, just in case you rip it out, because it just happens to be on the other side of this glass. It comes with a cool little suction cup and all the tools you need. So if you guys end up doing this to your tablet, no fear, because this little kit actually costs like, I think it was 15 or 16 bucks off of Amazon. So keeping in mind that we have a ribbon cable right here. Let me grab this again. Let me just get back to that again, because it will be the most important part of this. So both ribbon cables are right here in this section. I'll jump into this bag, get all our tools out. Wow, most of these we're not even going to use. Alright, great. Just got wet wipes. That's a cool tool that I think I'm going to use for all kinds of stuff. A couple of pry bars. It's got like a little hook on the end of it so you can pry stuff away. A spooger. And a couple guitar picks that are very useful for, well, you'll see in just a minute. And our super miniature screwdriver. Oh man, those are some of the best tweezers I've ever seen. But anyways, so we're going to get started by pulling off the original glass. And we can start by feeling where that edge is. Is this still plugged in? Heat gun really helps start to release that glue. On the outside of this, on the outside of these, this tape right here, you peel that off, it's got the new adhesive. That also tells us that the old glass also has an adhesive in that area. So that's going to be the first step. We're going to want to remove that adhesive. Even strokes so that there's no hot spots. And keep in mind that the glass is cracked and opened right there. So we're going to want the air to hit and go off the unit instead of possibly inside. We don't want that hot air going inside the tablet. Starting it warmer. Let's try to see if we can get in there any better. And yeah, this is the, I hate this part, but it takes just getting in there and just breaking that glue seal. I think we can get a little more heat in there. We don't want to overheat it either. It still is a tablet. There we go. Now it starts coming off in one. Big piece. And keep in mind there is a plastic bezel that goes around that is not the glass. So that's something we're going to try to avoid picking up right there. That's part of the bezel we want to avoid picking up right there. Ever curious to know what's on the other side of that? Alright, so that's actually a wider piece than this over here. That's why this was so easy to get in at this part, but that up there is a little wider. This is such a pain because it's shattered. Get your breathing technique down, because you do have to be very careful. Keep it over here. There's the camera. We'll go ahead and get that glass off the camera portion. Looks like the shards are coming this way. Maybe we can take advantage of that by coming around the other side. Now if we can look in there, you can see where the LCD panel actually is. And that gives us a little bit of comfort, because as long as we don't break that, we're going to be in good shape. Also keep in mind when you're pulling this glass up, when it flexes, you may be pinching into that panel. So try to keep an even leverage when you pull up on that. Peekaboo. What a pain. That glue cooled down. There we go. Cowabunga, dude. Looks like I came across something else here. So, like I was saying earlier with these little things, it's a little hard to explain, but these are good to tuck in to keep that from retouching the glue. So as long as it doesn't retouch the glue, we can keep working our way all the way around it. Now that we get enough of it up, gravity alone should take care of the rest. There is that ribbon cable we're going to be watching out for. Here we go. Just like that. Alright. That is such a disaster. Alright, there's that home button. Now the big pain about this is that the cables are underneath the screen. So we have to take the screen out in order to access those. But a little bit of cleanup just to make sure. Let's get that nice and where's that? I would not recommend using the heat gun once the glass has already been removed. That LCD is very sensitive. Of course, that's not going to work because the touch is somewhere. There we go. That's cool. Okay. Duh, what am I doing? I Pad disabled. How dare you? Yeah, let's go and slide the power off. Oh, you can do it. Nice. Stubborn. Alright, there we go. Am I actually in it? No. Bingo. Got it. I shut it off because when I pull those cables out, we don't want any kind of static discharge going back into the unit. So, less power, the better. Alright, you know what? That stuff's a mess. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do at this point, I'm going to put the glass back on top of the unit so that we can coast that air off the top and just get that warmed up over here, because it's so shattered that it's making it very, very difficult to try to pull that off. If you watch the YouTube video, you're going to notice the guy he's doing this repair on a unit that's not got a screen like this. It's practically new. But this is what's going to happen in real life. That looks like that right there. There's that Wi-Fi part, but it looks like that was pretty preserved. Oh, I believe we are out of luck right now. That's okay. Nah, toast. Not gonna happen. Okay. There's 4 screws to hold the LCD in place. Okay. So there's a little, this ribbon cable goes to the screen and it's right. Oh, I still got some of this glass over here. Okay. Now these little connectors, they flip up on the opposite side. Boy, they're tricky. There we go. Okay. I will use get some of that glass off of there. Lots of fingerprints. Lots of fingerprints and stuff, so you just want to make sure that screen is perfect. Okay. Alright, now the part that's already busted, let's get that sucker out of there. It seems to be glued in the back, but that's okay. These parts seem also be pretty resilient when it comes to this abuse. Now I'm taking the edge of this, and there's like a safety tape here. I'm just cutting that with the edge of this like a razor. But you just want to weaken that tape. You don't want to pierce through the ribbon itself. It tears away pretty easily. So we're going to flip that up, and this cable should come right up. Just like that. Here's our tortured trash digitizer. 3 big old battery packs to keep us running all day long. Oh, this is a lot easier to get this glass out of here when I'm not worried about destroying the LCD. Just use some of that brute force. A trick that I use, just to let you guys know, I've got one finger pressed up against the side of this, one finger controlling the motion of this, and I've got my palm up against the back of this. So I'm centering this and kind of giving it like a sawing motion while putting pressure at the same time. And that gives me a very controlled motion. I don't have to worry about it flying off, going somewhere, accidentally breaking something. There we go. That's part of the bezel. We want to keep that right there. That too. Keep that right there. Okay, now we got one more cable here. It looks like it wraps around. It's underneath that piece of plastic. Let's peel that up. There it is. Oh, we can put that off to the side. So we got the same kind of there we go. There's our home key toast. Let me get a brush here. And this iPad is actually still turned on. So, let's see here. Alright. So, here's that camera bezel. We're going to have to line that up with this right here. Let's see what else we're going to notice. We do not want to touch... Uh-oh, what is this? Looks like they got some glue on it or something. We can touch this side because, well, we can clean it after we close it all up. Before we seal it, we're going to go ahead and put that alcohol on there. Break up any of the grease. Let's get this. You know, they could have just used medical tape. Make it even stronger and harder to take off. There we go. Oh my God. Not one of them Band-Aid kind of things where you just rip it off. Let's get this one freed too. The home. We got the home key tape. There's ribbons. Oh, dang, I don't want to put it down like that. So